Today I messed up by agreeing to making a sex tape. So, I, 25M, have been hooking up with this girl, 22F, for a while. I usually go and see her when I'm on my lunch break at work since she lives nearby and I get an hour for lunch. Earlier this week she asked me if I wanted to come over during my lunch as usual and thought I may as well, was feeling a little horny. I got over to her place and saw that she had her laptop set up facing her couch. She asked if I was okay with her taking a video of us going at it and I said I was fine with that. So we get down to business and I usually just lower pants just past my dick. I wear business casual stuff to work and usually don't feel like taking my pants off since I'd have to take my shoes off too. But this time she asked if I could take off my pants since it was making the position a little difficult, so I obliged. I took off my shoes and pants and we got back to things. Here's a little background for the next part. Long story short, my right thigh is covered in a lot of scars from self-inflicted injuries in my past. I'm a pretty pale guy, so despite these pretty old, they're still quite red and very noticeable. So when I looked over to her laptop that was recording, I noticed my scars were incredibly noticeable. It made me feel pretty uncomfortable, so my dick started going soft. She asked me if everything was alright and I just said work had been stressful and it was causing my mind to drift. At that point I realized it had been around 40 minutes, so I just told her I had to get going. I cleaned up and left and was so sure she was going to just block me after that. I felt so embarrassed and the rest of the day was just horrible. Fast forward a couple days and she sends me a message asking if I'm still interested in her. I imagine she thought me going soft was just me not being into her anymore, and I told her I was and that I had just been really stressed lately. Then she messaged me, "How have you been?" It seemed kinda random, so I just replied, "What do you mean?" And she said, "I mean, are you okay?" I realized at that point she must have looked back at the video and saw my scars clear as day. I just said, "Yeah. Just stressed." I don't know if I'm going to ever see her again now, and I don't really know what she thinks of me now as her messages have been pretty short. I've already dealt with people in the past who thought much lesser of me after knowing I've self-harmed. I suppose it's a good sign that she didn't immediately block me, but I guess we'll see. Today I messed up by asking my husband if he would get excited by my pregnancy announcement. My husband, 35, and I, 27, have a great marriage. Barely 5 years of marriage, but we've been best friends for 10 plus years. When we first started dating we agreed that babies might not be for us. So we got a bunch of fur babies. But after being in the marriage I wanted his baby. We talked, I let my feelings known, and we agreed on one pregnancy whether as twins or not. My family has a bunch of twins on both sides. Then we close both factories and call it a lifetime full of happiness. He loves me and all my demons and vice versa. Today we're deep cleaning our house for a guest and found my cousin pregnancy reveal. Her husband was so happy he cried, so I went to my husband and asked him if he would get excited when I told him that I'm pregnant, since we start trying after New Year's. He said, "Not really, you're the one who wants the baby." I was shocked, but I tried to keep my face straight. I asked BB, but we talked about it. We came to an agreement. We picked baby names and fought over which last name the baby will get first. He looked at me with a concerned face. He said, "I know you'll be excited, but not me, baby. I don't want a baby." I'd be lying if I tell you that my heart broke and my stomach dropped. I'm at a loss what to do anymore. For heaven's sake, we have baby books, clothes and names. I can't stop crying. He was trying to make me happy and I didn't see it. Now I'm thinking of not having babies to make him happy. What kills me the most is all the what-if conversations, hoping for my hair cause his is difficult to handle, and the many dreams that I had about this. I don't know what to do. I love this man. I would never divorce him, but I'm truly heartbroken. Today I messed up by giving a girl, 30F, my, 20M, phone so that she could put in her number and almost getting scammed out of $300. My God, where do I even begin? I feel like such a dumbass right now. 4 days ago, my girlfriend of 10 months broke up with me very out of the blue with a very vague reason and said it wasn't my fault. I've been trying to cope with it, but honestly, these past few days have been extremely chaotic, mostly out of circumstance. Weeks ago, my mom and I had planned a trip to New Orleans. She really wanted to take me since I've never been and we rarely go on vacations. I've been having a great time so far, but the fact that I'm 20 and not 21 is definitely a downside. I couldn't get into any active bars, and I'm not exactly what you would call a great flirt, especially when I'm sober. I didn't end up approaching any girls, even when I managed to get catcalled by two my age. On the way back from the hotel, a girl and I started talking to each other. She was very attractive and charming, and after a few minutes started flirting very heavily. She started grabbing my junk, putting my hands on her ass, asking me if I wanted to go back to her hotel in order to fuck, and I almost said yes, but I still have a lot of apprehension from the fact I've only been single for less than a week. Eventually, she just asked to put her number in my phone. I gave it to her reluctantly, kind of just so that I could go back to the hotel after a long day. I had been almost 24 hours without sleep at this point. She took a really long time to put her number in, and every time I'd try to take my phone back, she'd hold it harder and tease me for being nervous, which I really was. I kind of just let it happen because I figured this was my chance to make up for my lack of confidence earlier. I get back to the hotel, and I get a text from my bank letting me know about a suspicious purchase. This girl tried to send herself $300 through my Venmo to herself. Luckily, it didn't go through, but you want to know why it didn't go through? My card got declined. Now, I'm stuck in New Orleans with both my cards locked. I can't call the bank until tomorrow. My mom is here so I'm not totally fucked, but I still feel like such a dumbass for falling for that. Today I messed up by throwing up in the middle of sex on a first date. So I, 30M, met a girl, 26F, through an online dating app, and we had our first date at a local brewery last night. Needless to say the date went fantastically, and she invited me over to her place afterwards. We get to her apartment and start getting down to business. Everything was going amazingly, we were feeling good, having a great time. But about 10 to 15 minutes in, I had a terrible urge to throw up. I didn't know what to do. I obviously don't want to throw up on her or her bed, but how can I get to the bathroom while I'm in the middle of railing you? I told her that I needed a quick water break and she was like, yeah, of course. She went to go get us water while I snuck into the bathroom and threw up. It was very noticeably loud. I was super embarrassed. This has literally never happened to me while hooking up with someone before. I was mortified to leave that bathroom. I eventually did, and she was waiting for me in the bedroom, and she asked, did you just throw up? Yes I did. We ended up having a good laugh about it, and she got me a snack and shared other embarrassing sex stories that she had. We didn't have sex again that night, but I stayed over and then we got breakfast in the morning. Somehow she still wants to see me again. She did say to me, you know that I have to tell all my girlfriends about this, right? So now I have to live with the fact that when I meet her friends they are all going to know this about me. Today I messed up by cutting a bump that was on my thing with nail clippers. So I played with a bathroom carpet when I started puberty years ago. I had my own bathroom and thought, hey, this feels comfortable on my feet so my thing will probably feel amazing on it, and got going. It hurt at first and it was hard to move, so I threw in some lotion and went to town on that thing. It felt amazing for all of 2 minutes. Didn't finish because I didn't know that was a thing. A week later I had bumps on my thing. 2 big ones under the head and a ton of tiny ones around it. I tried ripping off the big ones, but that bought me nothing but pain for no reason because it came back bigger. Years later here we are today. I got nail clippers and cut it off. I didn't go low enough the first time so I had to do it twice to get it off. It felt like hell and I knew I'd regret it. I wasn't prepared for the pain. You know when you take a wee and a little bit drips when you pull up your pants? Yeah, that burns a ton when a wound is involved. I couldn't do anything about it. I want to ask out a girl but I don't want her to leave after seeing my speed bump thing.